Hello, my name is Angela Lyle and welcome to my second book critique. The featured text that I chose for this book is Ella Enchanted. It was written by Gail Carson Levin. It's a fantasy book. The grade level is 3 to 7 and it won the Newbery Medal. I chose this book because I've always loved fairy tale retellings and they're some of my favorite books to read. And this book in particular has such a unique and interesting twist on Cinderella that it's just so interesting to see how they take the original characteristics of Cinderella and twist it into a completely unique story. A brief summary of this book is it's about a girl named Ella who is blessed by her fairy godmother to always be obedient. This means that if anyone orders her to do anything, then she has to do it, even if she doesn't want to. The book goes through the death of Ella's mother and her adjustment to life at a boarding school, and also her growing up and just figuring out how to make her own decisions and what that means, seeing as she has to do what other people tell her to do. The first lesson that I would do for this would be a language arts lesson. So I would begin the lesson by reading several different versions of Cinderella. The books that I would choose, the versions of Cinderella that I would choose would be from different cultures. So books such as The Rough-Faced Girl or Cinderillion. The students will compare and contrast the different stories and look at what elements stay the same and which ones change throughout the different versions. The students will then collaboratively use the digital tool of Boomwriter to create their own version of Cinderella. Whenever they have completed the book, they will each get a paperback copy of the book. So Boomwriter is a digital tool that allows the students to collaborate and communicate to create their own story. The way that this works is that every single student in the class will write what they think should happen in Chapter 1. So they all write Chapter 1. After everyone has finished, the class then reads all of the different chapters and votes on which one they like the best and which one should be included for Chapter 1. So whichever one wins will become Chapter 1. They will do the same thing for Chapter 2, where they all write Chapter 2 and then vote on which chapter they like the best and have that become the official Chapter 2. They do this for as many chapters there are in the book, except for the last chapter. On the last chapter, each student writes their own ending to the book, which is included in their own personalized books. So at the end, each student will have a very similar book except for the last chapter, where each of them will have something different, and each student will receive a paperback copy of their written book. So they'll have something sitting on their shelves that they helped to create and write. The second lesson that I would do for this book would be a social studies lesson that would focus on decision making. So I would discuss with the students how Ella wasn't always able to make her own decisions because of her curse of obedience. Something that we take for granted every day, Ella had to struggle and fight for. So I'd give the students a graphic organizer and have them look at different scenes from the book and pick a decision from their scene. It can be whatever scene they want and whichever part of the book interests them, but they're going to look at the decision and they're going to sort out the costs and the benefits. So if they make this decision, what are the good things they will get from it and what are the bad things that will happen because of it? I will also have the students use the reasoning of the costs and benefits to determine if they would make the same decision. So if they were in this same situation, would they make that decision? And if so, why? What costs and what benefits would it cost them to make that decision or not make that decision? After this, the students will split into different groups and play games that focus on decision making. As they play, they will think about the decisions they are making and how they think about the pros and the cons of each move that they make. Some of the games would include checkers, dominoes, pick up sticks, and stuck on a deserted island. The non-feature text that I chose for this book critique is Book Scavenger. This was written by Jennifer Chambliss Bertman. It's a mystery book. The grade level is 4 to 6, and it won the award of Notable Children's Book in the Language Arts. I chose this book because I really wanted to include a mystery book because there's something so engaging about a mystery book because it draws the reader in and has them guess and participate in what they think is going to happen and pick up all of the different clues along the way. These are my sources, and that is the end of my book critique.